This is the Wrestling Replay. I am Cato. Welcome to episode number 7. Yes, I know, very late in the week. If you're watching this right now, it's probably on a Thursday morning. Hopefully a good Thursday. If not, maybe Thursday evening. But look on the bright side. Friday's right around the corner, and you're going to get another video in about 4 days. But, you know, life happens, man. Life happens. Had to work a lot, wasn't really able to get in the video, a good time to do the video and all the editing and stuff like that. So I finally had time Wednesday night to get it done. So this is what you got. But nonetheless, you're going to get the replay from last week. We're going to run down AEW, we're going to run down WWE, and most importantly, we're going to run down the pay-per-view WWE Backlash. Now, if this is your first time viewing, you can wait to the end of the video if you like, but if you like what you hear, you like what you see, and you want to come back and watch the Wrestling Replay some more, please hit the like, subscribe, turn your notifications so anytime I drop a video, you'll be one of the first ones to see it. If you are a repeat viewer, you know what to do. Smash that like button for me, man. It means the world to this channel. It really helps us out. But week of wrestling, we're going to actually get started with AEW Dynamite and then move on to Rampage, so that we can flow through Monday Night Raw and SmackDown go-home shows before we jump into their pay-per-view. Dynamite, man, we got a lot to talk about. Now that I'm thinking about it, we got a lot to talk about. Kick off the show with the Owen Hart Foundation Men's Tournament Qualifier match between Jeff Hardy and Bobby Fish. Pretty decent matchup. Jeff Hardy went on to win that matchup. We got the Blackpool Combat Club. They did win against the Butcher, the Blade, and Angelico. BCC won that match, no problem, hands down. These guys continue to dominate. I love what these guys are doing. I love William Regal in this faction right now. Wardlow, he went against the 7-foot-tall W. Morrissey, better known as Big Cass. Big Cat, well, Morrissey looked amazing. It's rumors that, you know, WWE guys has been talking in the back about how good he looked, possibly bringing him back. But it's no way this is the first time they actually set eyes on Morrissey. You know what I'm saying? He's been killing on Impact for at least a year now. So I don't believe that this is the first time they've actually seen Morrissey by watching an AEW show. So no, I'm not buying that rumor. Anyway, Hangman Page, he goes on to cut a promo, pretty much talking about his match with CM Punk coming up for the AEW Championship. Santana, he loses a match against Chris Jericho. Right now, we got Santana, Ortiz, and Eddie Kingston feuding with Jericho's Appreciation Society. I like the fact that they got the young boy over there in that society, because he's going to be learning under Chris Jericho, kind of like Sammy Guevara did. So I kind of like exactly where this feud is going, because when you have this younger talent being able to work with guys like Santana, Ortiz, Eddie Kingston, Chris Jericho being under the tutelage of him, is going to really make for a better career, a longer career. I feel like these are people that you really can learn from and really can help excel your game and bring your game to a different level. We've seen the Varsity Blondes. They called out the House of Black. The House of Black would come and answer, pretty much lead to a beatdown on the Varsity Blondes before they were saved by the Death Triangle, which led to the match between Dante Martin and Rey Fenix, which Rey Fenix was successful in defeating Dante Martin, but that was the best match on AEW Dynamite to me. That was one of my matches of the week. These guys really tore the house down. They have a lot of young talent, man. Like I was saying, Dante Martin is one of those guys. With his brother being on the shelf right now, he came back for a little bit and, you know, went back out. So I'm not really sure exactly what's going on as far as, you know, if it's an injury or he's not really feeling it. Maybe he reactivated something. I don't know. But we get guys like Rey Fenix back from their injury, and they just quickly remind you exactly of the type of talent that AEW has on their roster. It's just that the roster is so big, man, and they only have 3 hours of television. Not everybody goes to run the AEW Dark on YouTube, but let's keep the show rolling. We got to see the undisputed Ring of Honor Women's Champion Donna Perez go against Mercedes Martinez. These two women, Donna Perez was in a situation where she could not defend her ROH championship, which led to Mercedes Martinez actually holding a title as well for ROH in the women's division. So these two met up to see pretty much, look, who is the true champion of the ROH women's division. And surprisingly to me, Mercedes Martinez actually defeated Donna Purrazz. Man, like, she is dope. So, I mean, she's been on a roll in Impact. She's been killing everything. I feel like ever since she got released by WWE, a couple years ago, she's been killing the independent scene. She's been killing Impact. So I thought this would be an easy victory for her to come in and, get on Mercedes Martinez. But I was so wrong. So shout out to Mercedes Martinez for winning that ROH Women's Championship. Now let's go on to AEW Rampage. Oh, Rampage. And this is kind of where things took a little turn for me. Dynamite was cool. The best match for me, honestly, was the last two matches with Rey Fenix, Dante Martin, Mercedes Martinez going against Donna Purrazz. But Rampage, let's kick it off. Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker loses against Ruby Soho and Toni Storm. From the looks of it, I think they're just really trying to build up momentum for Toni Storm. They kind of rolled out the red carpet for her since she came to AEW. And, I mean, look at it. She looks great. She can wrestle. She can talk. And she's one of those people that WWE, got away from WWE, I should say. Not WWE, not that they let her go. She escaped the asylum. But she's one of those women, man, one of those talents that can really help boost that women's division on AEW. And I like the fact that they continue to give her TV time so that she can continue to build the buzz and continue to build a fan base from the people who may not know who she is exactly. We've seen Hook. He defeated JD Drake. Hook is on the roll. He has separated himself from Team Taz. I like that. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know exactly where we're going to go with Hook. He haven't really fought any type of competition yet. So we got to see what happens when he actually get in the ring with someone or earn a victory that's really meaningful in his career. And then let's see what the next steps is going to be for Hook. But I'm always entertained by Hook stepping into the ring. We got the Owen Hart Foundation's women's tournament qualifier match between Rhio and Sakazaki. Yeah, does it? No, Sakazaki. Yeah, that's how you say it, I believe. But she ended up coming up short. Rhio would advance in that tournament. The tournament's starting to shape up. I believe it's going to kick off in the next few weeks. I feel like most of the qualified matches is pretty much done for. So that's going to be pretty good when all things are said and done. I really wish it was talent from promotions all over, including WWE, but I understand why the family may not want that to happen. I can understand why AEW and WWE would not be working together, but it would just be awesome to have talent from all over the world to really honor Owen Hart in this tournament. I'm going to save this part for last. I'm going to say that for last. In our main event, we got to see Jay Lethal go against Takeshita. I think that's how I say his name. These New Japan names, they be killing me, dog. I'm not going to even lie to you. But Jay Lethal, of course, won that match. After the match, the beatdown, started. But surprisingly, he was saved by Trent, Chuck Taylor, and Orange Cassidy. I believe Orange Cassidy may have ties with him in New Japan, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's how this whole thing came about. But ultimately, it came down to Samoa Joe pretty much busting his way through security to try to get at Jay Lethal. They're building up that ROH TV title match, World TV Championship match with Samoa Joe and Jay Lethal. To be honest, I expect Jay Lethal to win that title because I expect Jay Lethal to really go back to ROH and really make that like his home show. And I expect Samoa Joe to really start to thrive on AEW once he let that title go. But the part of Rampage that really just annoyed me, Rampage as a whole, it was okay. I felt like it could have been a lot of better matches put on. I felt like it was talent that should have been put on TV and their talents being displayed. But it is what it is. They only got an hour, so it's going to be hard to really fight for those three matches and fight for those slots with you only having an hour. I would really love to see AEW Rampage go to 2 hours instead of them doing this reality TV show. I'm not saying it won't work, but I mean that's like a tricky bag, man, because most reality TV show is scripted anyway. So it's like, why do the reality TV show when you can use that time to really add an extra hour to your own wrestling program, and you could put more wrestlers on the map? But we'll see how it works out. It may be one of the best shows ever. It may flop. Only time will tell. My issue with with AEW this week, man, I feel like they just cannot get it right. Like the past couple of weeks, they just been killing me, man. So we have a match. Well, we have a segment where Dan Lambert, Scorpio Sky, and Ethan Page are in the ring. Of course, Frankie Kazarian comes down, and he says, "Hey, Scorpio Sky, you owe me, the first match since you won the TNT title. I'll let you go ahead and take my spot." Prior to that, you have Dan Lambert pretty much going all in on the crowd. You got Ethan Page. He's pretty much going all in on the crowd. Scorpio Sky, like he's kind of caught in the middle. So we have a situation where I watched this trio go from heels to faces to 2 heels and 1 in betweener within 3 weeks. That's some of the sloppiest writing I've ever seen. That is sloppy, man. You could have just left them as heels, left Sammy as a face for the time being, let Scorpio Sky defend his winning streak that he was on, defend his TNT title, and then move on to go and fight Frankie Kazarian right after that. And then you can decide, hey, now this is why Scorpio Sky is torn, because he's actually fighting someone he cares for and have respect for, versus you just turning him face, the whole trio face, for 1 week, only to turn them back heel. Like, it almost feels like there's no one writing. It kind of feels like the wrestlers are like, hey, this is what we're going to do this week. Cool. Okay, cool. Go out there and, do your thing. That's kind of what it feels like. I'm not saying that, other programs had the best writing in the world, but this was just absolutely, sloppy to me. So Frankie comes down and, of course, he challenges Scorpio Sky. Scorpio Sky proceeds to, say yes to this challenge when he's cut off by Paige, pretty much saying SCU was dead, and that's when you seen the little in between Scorpio Sky. That's when you seen if you didn't know if he was really going to be a heel or if he was really going to be a face. Me being me, I think I see this storyline a mile away. Scorpio Sky already told Dan Lambert, hey, that other TNT championship needs to go to America's Top Team trophy case where it's supposed to be and not around your waist, right? So he's kind of already drawing the line in the sand at this point, which is fine. Understandable, completely fine, right? What I think is going to happen is, with him drawing the line in the sand and him wanting to be a true fighting champion of this TNT championship, I think he's going to go on to defeat Frankie Kazarian with the help of Ethan Page and or Dan Lambert. He's not going to like it. He's going to accept his victory, but he's not going to like it, and that's going to start to show the rockiness between that little trio right there. And eventually we're going to get Ethan Page versus Scorpio Sky. I don't know who goes over at that point. The way that they keep flip-flopping this TNT title, if they want to build prestige, you keep it on Scorpio's side. If you want to just do what you've been doing, you put it on all ego Ethan Page, whatever. But I feel like this is a situation where we're ready to watch the demise of Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, and Dan Lambert, and we're going to kind of watch the guys start to go their separate ways. So, all in all, Rampage, well, it wasn't that good. It really didn't move me at all. That was the biggest takeaway from me for the whole show, is really just watching the interaction between Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page and Dan Lambert. I will say this though, when Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian actually meet, that match is going to be amazing. That match should be this week because I'm recording on Wednesday. That match is going to be this week, and we'll talk about that on the next episode of the Wrestling Replay on Monday Night Raw. Go home show to WWE's Backlash. The show kicks off with RK Bro. They pretty much force Roman Reigns to confront Drew McIntyre. Roman Reigns, he comes out, open up the show with the Bloodline. Randy Orton and Matt Riddle does a sneak attack on the Usos that pretty much leave Roman Reigns cornered when they call down Drew McIntyre. And then, these guys get busy. Nice little build up for the Backlash main event that's going to happen for the pay-per-view. Understand that? Okay, cool. I'm with it. We got to see the Alpha Academy and Kevin Owens defeat the Street Profits and Ezekiel. I really want to see the Street Profits just make a full heel turn. Like, don't flirt with it one week and then the next week they're back to being fan favorites. I understand the fan loves them. They're one of the most popular tag teams you have right now. But let's think about this. If you are going to pretty much combine that tag team division, RK Bro is a really popular tag team, so they're solidified. They're all set. You got the Usos, you got the New Day, who's a great face tag team, and now we're going to have Street Profits, who will be another great heel tag team. So at least it'll kind of be balanced out, because those are the only 4 real tag teams I consider right now in WWE on the Raw and SmackDown brands anyway. So that's why I think it's going to be perfect for these guys to unify the tag team titles, so we can actually get better tag team wrestling. That's the one thing that WWE definitely needs to focus on. We got to see Veer Mahaan. I like Veer Mahaan. He destroys his opponent again. Vern Hansen. You know, I like the way they're rolling Veer out as pretty much like a dominant force, which is what I think he should have been rolled out as in the first place when he had Jinder Mahal along his side. I think that would have been dope. But hey, better late than never. At least they're getting it right now. We got to see AJ Styles defeat Damian Priest. This is leading into the match with AJ Styles and Edge at WWE Backlash, with Damian Priest losing. He cannot come down to ringside. We also got to see AJ Styles and Finn Balor go ahead and 2-sweet it up. At the end, he came down to help make the save when Damian Priest and Edge started to put the beat down on AJ Styles after he received his victory. We got to see Theory and The Miz defeat Mustafa Ali in a 2-on-1 handicap match. After the match, we also seen Tommaso Ciampa attack Mustafa Ali. So that looked like to be the next feud. I really want to see what's going to happen with Tommaso Ciampa after that feud is over. He deserves either that United States Championship or that Intercontinental Championship. He's the type of guy that will be able to bring real prestige back to either one of those titles. But no disrespect to Ricochet or Theory, but you guys aren't really beating the necessary people that you need to beat. Theory, well, you are, because you did defeat Finn Balor. That's a huge victory. But now you're taking a step back and you're feuding with Mustafa Ali. Unless they're going to start pushing Mustafa Ali to the moon, which I doubt. Yeah, I feel like you're taking a step back and you're not progressing the title of that championship in any way. We got to see Nikki Ash. She defeated Dana Brooke to win the 24/7 championship. Dana Brooke went on to defeat Nikki Ash for the championship right back. So whoop-de-doo. More importantly, we got to see Doudrop at the end. She goes up to Nikki and was like, look, are you done playing around? Nikki says yes. This is going to be a dope tag team. I'm sorry, Sasha and Naomi, but if this tag team like really start to gel and really start to fuse together, they're going to be dope women's champions. I could see this being a dope feud for a while between those two teams. Those two teams are, I would say, the staple right now of the women's tag team division in the WWE. Outside of Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, these are the two best teams that I've seen so far. And I haven't really seen Doudrop and Nikki at all. But if they gel like I think they will, this is going to be a pretty dope tag team. So I like that. The fact that they found something good to do with Nikki and they found something good to do with Doudrop. Because Doudrop is way too talented not to be on TV or not to be a champion. Cody Rhodes, he interrupts Seth Rollins' Appreciation Night. That's going to pretty much lead into Backlash, where Cody Rhodes going to get Seth Rollins. They're going to end this feud once and for all. Then we're going to see what's next for either one of these guys. Whoever's the victor, we're going to see what's next and what's going on. We got to see Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, and Asuka defeat Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley, and Sonya Deville. Nice to see Asuka back in the fold. I think that's really playing up against the Becky Lynch and Asuka situation. The Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, I think that's kind of dead, but there are little issues going on. So the whole main event makes sense. Decent episode of Monday Night Raw. Not a bad come home show. Not the best either, but it wasn't bad. It didn't like wow you or anything. It didn't really like. The most important piece of information really was Damian Priest couldn't come down to ringside for his match against AJ Styles and Edge, so he could not support Edge in that matchup. Now, let's jump over to SmackDown. We got the Bloodlines forcing Drew McIntyre to acknowledge them. Cool. But let's really get down to business. Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair, they have a nice little brawl after Flair cheap shot at Aaliyah for no reason. Charlotte being Charlotte. Shayna Baszler defeated Sasha Banks. I don't. One that's losing the one-on-one matches, Naomi is winning hers. So I don't know if this is ready to start some type of issue between this tag team. I hope not. But, you know, Sasha Banks keep losing her one-on-one matches. I don't like that. We got to see the Usos, you know, get themselves prepared, hype themselves up for WWE Backlash. We got to see RK Bro on their interview backstage, hyping themselves up for Backlash. Madcap Moss, he goes in on Happy Corbin. Jokes all day, hyping up their match for WWE Backlash. That's one feud that I cannot wait to be over. Honestly, because I want to see Madcap Moss move on from Happy Corbin and see what they have next for him in his situation. I think he's one of those guys that looks like a champion. He can talk on the microphone. He's very comfortable outside. He's very comfortable under those lights. He has charisma. The fans are into him. So it's going to be interesting to see, like, once this feud is over, how are you going to push Madcap Moss? Like, what direction? Are you going to put him on the shelf? Which I hope not, because, you know, I think you got something with the kid, but you have to, like, you know, you got to give him something to work with. Happy Corbin seems to be like the gatekeeper. Once you get past Happy Corbin, the floodgates kind of open. So we're just going to see what's next for Madcap Moss. If he can defeat, jeez, I can't even talk, Happy Corbin at WWE Backlash. We got to see Gunther. He dominates Drew Gulak. Now, that's somebody who I really want to see the Intercontinental Championship on. Gunther with that Intercontinental Championship, it would make sense. It would be dope. And there's so many guys he could face. And if he's facing former champions, it's way more believable that he beat them than Ricochet, because you're not really pushing Ricochet to do anything good. You just, you know, have him defeating mid-card guys. Like, he needs to defeat the upper mid-card guys, the lower main event guys. You know, that's who he needs to be facing and getting good victories against. Now, what else we got? Drew McIntyre, he does his little interview backstage. All cool. Sheamus and Ridge Holland defeat Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. This is another tag team I like. I left them off the list, but this is another tag team I like. I like the look of them. I really like Sheamus and tag teams in general. I kind of figured that out now. But Ridge Holland and Sheamus, they could definitely make a run for those tag team championships once everything is unified. What else we got? Lacey Evans opening up again with another video package about her father's overdose and suicide attempt by someone close to her. So, I mean, this is kind of like a reintroduction to who Lacey Evans is. So it's going to be great when she finally makes her debut. Whenever she makes a debut, that's going to be awesome. I would think she has to roll out as a face, right? I would think she has to come back. Like, she's giving you the life story. She's giving you everything. She has to come back as a face. We got to see Sami Zayn. He defeated Shinsuke Nakamura due to a count out. So, whatever. Sammy, they keep playing with Sammy too. Sammy's too talented to be playing these roles. I know he's having a great time. He's having fun. The same thing with Kevin Owens. I feel like they're having a great time, but they're too talented to just, like, be playing around back and forth, man. I really wish these guys had a TV title. Even if it's not called the TV title, just like a lower card title that can jump from brand to brand, that can really be, you know, bridge the gap between the next step of United States Championship and Intercontinental Championship. But we'll see. But I think they definitely need another title with titles being unified now. And we also get a tag team title matchup announced for next week. The champion Sasha Banks will go and Naomi will go against Shayna Baszler and Natalya, who's been spending a lot of her time actually in NXT, which I like, because let's face it, Natalya is one of those women who is training these younger talent, these younger women wrestlers. What better way to continue the training or continue the molding by doing it on screen, you know, actually being there with them in the matchups, in the moments. So I think Natalya in NXT makes a lot of sense. I'm not saying she has to stay down there forever or stay there forever. Not down there. I keep saying like it's a demotion, but they did make it back to the Performance Center. So I guess I don't know. I don't call it a demotion because NXT is a really great show, and they had a really good show this week. But I haven't been doing a lot of NXT replays, so maybe I'll start that back up for the next episode. But now, what we have all been waiting for, let's jump into WWE's Backlash pay-per-view replay. The show kicks off with Cody Rhodes defeating Seth Rollins. I know people hate that WWE keeps running matches back, but I tell you what, this match was a terrific match. It was an instant classic. This match was way better than the first time that these two met up, and I gotta say, I think these guys have kind of gave away their plans for next year WrestleMania. I don't think Roman Reigns is going to be facing The Rock. I think he's going to be facing Cody Rhodes for the fact that we had a commercial during the pay-per-view. Cody is pretty much leading the way. He's pretty much in charge of the commercial, and he's promoting Money in the Bank 2022. Cool, no problem. Inside of the promotion, he goes on to say that, hey, the winner of the Money in the Bank match will go on to face the world champion at WrestleMania. So are we all but saying that Cody is going to win the Money in the Bank and then move on to face Roman Reigns, who I believe will be the world champion at the time at WrestleMania? I don't know, because Money in the Bank, normally you cash it in whenever you feel like cashing it in. So I don't know exactly why Cody would say that during the promo, and they kept it in there as if, hey, we're giving you a bone. If you catch it, you catch it. Now, my other question is going to be the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble winner normally gets that world title shot. So are we going to see a triple threat at the Royal Rumble? If we do see a triple threat at Mania, if we do see a triple threat at Mania, who wins the Royal Rumble? It's been rumors WrestleMania is going to be in LA. They want to get The Rock and Roman Reigns. They couldn't do it, the past 2 years? One year was because of because of The Rock and his pretty much contracts with certain movie productions saying, look, we don't want you wrestling. We don't want any injuries possibly happen delaying our movie. COVID already screwed us up, right? So if we're going to get The Rock, he has to win the Royal Rumble. He has to win the Royal Rumble. That's the only way he's going to Reigns and possibly Cody Rhodes. Or will Cody just cash in at WrestleMania? Maybe it won't be a triple threat match. Okay. Hey, I'm on to you. But we also got to see Bobby Lashley loses to Omos. I'm telling you, Omos, this match was okay. It wasn't nothing crazy. It was cool. It was chill. It was nice. Better than I thought it was going to be. But Omos with MVP behind him. I wish there was a TV title. This would be the perfect dude, because I don't see them just taking a title from 30 and throwing it on the Omos. But how are you going to feed this giant if he's not going to be going for championships? Why would he just be walking around running through guys who is a former U.S. champion, a former WWE champion in his own right? Why would I defeat him and then move on to do nothing or move backwards in my progression? It makes no sense, man. You got to put a title on Omos at some point. You got to. Next, we got to see Edge and AJ Styles go at it one-on-one. Damian Priest cannot come down the ringside. I've only been saying this for about 4 years now. Ever since Edge came back and he feuded with Randy Orton. Yeah, way back when he feuded with Randy Orton the first time he came back. Edge has been on the road. Everything he's touched has been fire. Everything that Randy Orton has touched since then has been absolutely fire. So this Judgment Day group is dope. Without Damian Priest being able to get down the ringside, Edge no longer had the advantage. It's a true one-on-one matchup. So the question was, what could he possibly do? How could he possibly defeat AJ Styles? During the match, Damian Priest actually does come down. He comes down to the walkway. He's not at ringside, so he's sitting on the walkway, but it still caused enough distraction for the referee to kind of say, hey, you got to get out of here. You can't be around here. And then we see someone in all black. The opening for Edge to go ahead and grab the victory. We have our third member of Judgment Day. I've been saying there has to be a third member. I said The Fiend. I said, hey, maybe Finn Balor, because, he has that demon side of things. Maybe it'll be Finn Balor. It was neither one of those people. It was Rhea Ripley. Just meshed so well. Their look, their stature, the way they wrestle, it just matches so well. But I'm like, why would you ever pair Damian Priest up with Rhea Ripley? It wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense to put her in like a manager type role or him in a manager role, because they're both great wrestlers. So I kind of wrote that off years ago in NXT. So when I see the person in all black get on the apron, I knew who it was exactly. Well, I seen their body frame. I seen the boot. I said, oh my God, it's Rhea Ripley. This is going to be so fire. So now, like I've been talking about, Bianca Belair, I believe that Rhea Ripley and her are going to have the type of feud that, we've seen Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch has, the type that lasts for like a long period of time. I think the seed has now been placed. It's going to start to bloom pretty soon with Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. I think Sonya Deville was only there to buy time. I think that's probably also why they didn't have a match for her at WWE Backlash. They were just buying time, because there's no way that Rhea Ripley's focus is not going to be on that women's championship. I could watch them fight at SummerSlam. I'll watch them fight again at Survivor Series. I'll watch one of them win the Royal Rumble, and I'll watch them damn sure fight again at WrestleMania. It's going to be good. Until one of them decides to go to SmackDown, or is forced or is drafted to go to SmackDown, and they're forced to be apart from each other, only to come back to each other in 6-7 months, I'm with it. I like it a lot. So, Judgment Day just got even better than me, man. So, I haven't even watched Monday Night Raw yet. Haven't watched Monday Night Raw for the week. Haven't watched any AEW for the week. So I'm excited to see the promo for Edge, Damian Priest, and what they're going to talk about. What's going to be their plans going forward. Now that AJ Styles is no longer an issue. They got him out the way. We got to see Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair, I Quit match. You know what? I think that all of my predictions was right. I'm going to tag my episode 6 video in here. I think all of my predictions was right about this pay-per-view. I'm tuning my own horn. Toot. But no, yeah. But Ronda Rousey defeats Charlotte Flair in the I Quit match. I feel like it's one of those star power things. I feel like you bring Ronda Rousey back. I don't know how long she signed for. I didn't look up her contract. But it's a chance for Charlotte Flair to take a break, take some vacation time. She is the true man of the women's division. She's the one. She's the best wrestler in that women's locker room. But right now, if you're going to drop the title to somebody on SmackDown, it has to be Ronda Rousey. The star power, people love to see her. She brings a whole different fan base over to that brand, to that network to watch her. So it makes sense for her to lose to Charlotte Flair. And of course, 9 times out of 10, the face isn't saying I quit, unless it's like Jimmy and Jay, where you got my brother and you ready to kill my brother, so I gotta say I quit. But for the most part, the face isn't gonna say I quit. Now I do think we're gonna see Charlotte Flair make her way back. I'm not sure how long, but she's definitely gonna make her way back, and I think she should drop that title back to Charlotte Flair, because Ronda, she has to work on selling these moves, man. She's really intense. To the point, I think that it messes up what's going on inside the ring. It's not as smooth. It's not good transitions. And it looks awesome when you're having street fights or I Quit matches, something like that, because they're supposed to look like a fight. But when you're having a wrestling match, you get to kind of smoothly transition. And Ronda hasn't really grasped that part of WWE or part of wrestling yet. I think she'll get it. I think she's a natural fighter, for one. And I think she's a really good athlete. So I think she'll get the hang of it eventually. But, for now, that's some pieces that she could work on. We got to see Madcap Moss defeat Happy Corbin. Thank goodness. Now we can move on with his career. I hope they do not keep this feud going. They are known for doing that. But this was good match placement. You're coming off the I Quit match, which had the crowd super pumped. So you have this matchup. It slows the crowd right back down before we get into the main event, where we have the Bloodline going against Drew McIntyre and RK Bro. I'm not going to lie. On paper, I was very disappointed. One, I wasn't getting my tag team unification match, which I can understand. Okay, let's save it for a bigger pay-per-view. Maybe we save it for SummerSlam. Two, we get a triple threat match. I'm like, man, like these guys are not gonna gel like that. Like, you got Drew McIntyre, he's over here on SmackDown. You guys could beat him up every single Friday. RK Bro's not gonna be there every Friday. That's just how it goes. It makes no sense. So you're teaming up with a tag team on Raw. I'm like, man, it's gonna be so trash. It's gonna be meaningless. Like this, like, nah, I'm not with it. I wasn't feeling it. This match was really good. This match was a great match to close the show. To me, this was the best match on the card. This was a really good matchup. One, the chemistry between the Bloodline. You know the Usos have amazing chemistry. But Roman Reigns being in the mix, I know these guys work together a lot on dark matches, on live matches. But their chemistry together as a trio, dope. They don't miss a beat. You would think Roman Reigns was like a third Uso brother. Like, they're perfect. This may be one of the best, if not the best, faction to go down in WWE. Okay, I spoke way too soon, but they're a dope faction nonetheless. Drew McIntyre, RK Bro, their chemistry was actually amazing. All these guys are great in-ring workers. When you got great chemistry, great in-ring workers, and you put it all together, everyone has their own charisma. The crowd is into it. The match is good. The match kept you on the edge of your seat. You kind of didn't know who was going to win because the match really means nothing now that neither title was on the line or anything like that. So anyone could really go home with the victory. So you didn't really know who was going to win the matchup. Loved it. And they only broke one table. They didn't have to use weapons to keep you entertained. They didn't have to use ladders or anything like that. It was just pure wrestling. One, little table spot, whatever. But at the end of the day, what really stood out to me was Randy Orton. He was having so much fun in this matchup. For a guy like that to be in year 20 of his career, loving what he's doing, and is actually showing how happy that he is inside the ring in a main event. You would have thought that Randy was fighting on a live crowd that wasn't televised. He was having a ball inside the ring. It was at one point where he took a super kick from one of the Usos. I can't remember which. But it took maybe 10 seconds for him to slowly fall off the apron, slowly roll down to the apron, and slowly roll outside the ring. Like, it's like watching old Ric Flair, classic Ric Flair. That's exactly what it reminded me of. And then he hit everybody with an RK Bro. RK Bro. Hit everybody with RKO. Out of nowhere, off the top, through a spear. Like, it was fire. This match was dope. It was bodies everywhere, but at the end of the day, it was the Bloodline, man. The Bloodline still managed to go on and defeat Drew McIntyre and RK Bro. I could see Drew McIntyre be the next one to challenge Roman Reigns for that championship. I don't think he's going to get the job done, especially if you don't have anybody watching his back. Not that Roman really has been relying on the Usos in one-on-one matchups anyway, but I just still don't see Roman going out there and I still don't see Drew going out there and getting the job done against Roman Reigns. But that was your replay for the week. Really good week of wrestling. Well, no. It was a decent week of wrestling. Really good pay-per-view to cap it all off. I was really just surprised when I looked at the card of WWE Backlash. I didn't think I was going to be as entertained as I was watching the match. The only two matches that really I was like, okay, this is cool, was the Happy Corbin match and the Bobby Lashley match. Other than that, every other match was way better than I thought it was going to be. So, I'm cool with that. I like it. Actually, no, I don't know if the Bloodline match. Yeah, that's still my favorite. But Cody and Seth Rollins was a close second. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What do you think was your best matchup on the pay-per-view? Let me know what do you think is going to happen now with Rhea Ripley joining Judgment Day. She has to go after Bianca Belair, right? What's next for Cody Rhodes? You think he's going to win the Money Bank? You think he's going to cash it in? you think he's going to like announce that, hey, I want to fight you at WrestleMania? How do you think it's going to go? And where does Seth Rollins go from here, man? Like, damn, Steph needs to go back. He needs to drop down and do something. I don't know, man, but he's having fun in his role. I think Kevin Owens is having fun in his role. So I don't think these guys are worried too much about championships. I think they're just having a great time, to be honest. But I would love to know what you think about Judgment Day, what you think about Cody Rhodes, and also what do you think about Drew McIntyre? Does he go on to beat Roman Reigns? Let's remember, he went on to beat Brock Lesnar to win that championship in a very quick matchup. Shortly after that, he fought the Big Show off air the same night and defeated the Big Show. They have been feeding guys to Drew McIntyre to paint him as Superman for moments like this. You have now your biggest villain and arguably your biggest face right now between him and Cody Rhodes, and they're going to square off. So do you think the Superman that they build up is going to be able to defeat this villain that has been running the WWE for what, a year and a half, 2 years now? Like, I don't know. That's going to be a pretty good matchup. I hope that Drew McIntyre does not be the one to dethrone him. I said whoever dethrones him is going to have to be the ones doing the commercials. Going to have to be the ones doing the, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Going to have to be doing the Cure for Connor. Things like that. The Special Olympics. All those type of things. And I think Cody would be the better spokesperson for that role. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Please make sure you like and subscribe. And if you aren't already, follow us at The Wrestling Replay on Instagram. We're going to be having the giveaways. We're going to be doing giveaways. I want to do it at least once or twice a month for right now. I want to get to the point that we are going to be doing it every single week. I think that's going to be really cool. Something to really give back to my fans every single week. Well, something to really give back to everyone who's watching every single week. So I think that would be kind of dope. Also, we're going to start our rips. We got WWE tops. We have the women division top cards as well. I can't find the box, so I can't show you. But we're going to start doing rips as well on this page. So maybe I'll do it before I start the show, or I will do it as a separate video. So if you enjoy rips, if you are a trading card collector of WWE stuff, reach out to me, man. Let's do something. But we're going to start doing that on this channel as well. So we're trying to bring you some more content. We're going to also start doing the retro replays. That's going to be fun. I really want to have Max on with that. I feel like he's my replay connoisseur when we start really digging in the crates and going over old pay-per-views and old wrestling shows and, just old villains or heels and faces of our 80s, 90s, 70s. I think that's going to be a really good episode to do. I got to get NYG back on the show. It's a lot. We got a lot going on at the Wrestling Replay. So please make sure you're following. Please make sure you're subscribed and your notifications are turned on. That has been your Wrestling Replay for the week. I'm Cato. I'm signing out. Peace.